Hello, everybody. Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas. We're going to talk about fair market value today. It's real easy to see there that many people want me to sell my home. I mean, I've got it documented real clear, and while I live under the threat of death. Okay, and the reason is easy to see. That's because of the underground home in the backyard, right? And so, anyway, that's what this post about on Facebook, where I said it's obvious that many people have tried to terrorize me into selling my home while I live under the threat of death. And the reason they want my home is for the now not so secret underground home in the backyard where the oil show parties were held. They know, and I know, that's my property. So if I wanted to sell my property at its fair market value, then how would I calculate that? That's what this is about. And I'm asking for the public's feedback on this. You can go ahead, somebody might know this. I was told the Safe House project was completed in 1987 with a budget of $7.35 million on permit. Another person told me it was 4 3-bedroom homes buried at least 25 foot deep. So it makes sense. I just divide 7.35 million by 4, and then I'd have 1.8375 million. But that was in 1987 dollars. Okay, home appreciations have increased since 1987. So I would then need to calculate the appreciation value. So my question is, what would be the current value of a home that cost 1.84 million in 1987? You know it's going to be more, right? The property value for the home right here that I'm living in, it has doubled since I bought it in 2009. Okay, and the other thing we'd do is we'd also calculate this property on this home too, because that would be part of the property. It's all one property. Anybody know how to calculate appreciation of home values since 1987? That's what I said. This is my main picture here, showing where the ditch is, that was cut, the tunnel ditch. That's where the people at the old show party were using, and that's the little girl that was murdered. The underground homes here in the backyard, And so all this is my property right here. Is where the fence line is, and that's where the underground home is in my property. Here's my home right here. So there's 2 homes here. Okay, basically that's what it's showing here on this property that I own. Okay, and then all the many people documented saying that there's tunnels and underground homes are here. It would be absurd to deny that. Obviously they're here. Okay. And here I was showing CAD programmer Layla O'Brien told me she worked on this underground safe house project and it was completed in 1987. They had a budget of 7.35 million on permit, and since I was told it was 4 homes, I did the division. And this was the print screen where she told me 7.35 million. She said it was put in for the bushes, is what Layla had told me, and so it was easy to calculate what the value of it. Homeland Security agent Paul Cervantes tried to talk me into selling my home when I showed him where I believe the human trafficking murder tunnel was located. The reason is easy to see. It's because I own an underground home where a young girl was murdered. That's because Homeland, instead of trying to stop human trafficking, was trying to help the human traffickers murder little girls and force them to prostitute. That's how I look at it. That's pretty simple to see, ain't it? Here's his own words, Paul Cervantes. I simply ask you why you wouldn't consider selling your home if you continue to feel threatened there, right? So I'm showing him where a human trafficking murder tunnel is, and he's trying to talk me into selling my home, right? But let's talk about fair market value, right? That's what this is about. Here's another guy. Shannon Jeter told me the cops can kill you and get away with it, and then advised me to sell my home. He seemed to know it was worth a lot of money, and that insinuates that the cops were involved in the crimes, and they were. We know they were. Okay, and so. And he's warning me. It's a fair warning. Cops can kill you and get away with it, And, why in the world they're trying to steal real estate, I have no idea. But that's obvious what they're trying to do, And he tells me stop publicizing their business, which I assume is trafficking little girls, And that's what makes sense. And then you go buy you another home. It's all about the home, right? But are you going to pay me the fair market value, right? Here's another guy. He said I had 2 choices. I could move or meet God early. That's pretty easy to see, right? They want my home. Why do they want my home? The underground home in the backyard. Okay. In fact, there's a whole bunch of people. There's so many I can't even keep track of them. Move on and on and on. Move. This has been going on for years, man. These people want me out of my home, and the reason is easy to see, right? It's the underground home in the backyard. Okay. And I want to add in here, of course, the value is more than just the 1.8 million, right? And I mean, because you have this home, and then there's compensation for somebody crippling me for life, cost me my job. There's a whole bunch of compensation that ought to be coming back for this, right? And so if somebody wants to talk about fair market value, contact me. Let's talk about fair market value. This is Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas.